Hello and welcome to Good Night Gardening. I am your host Jacqueline Rhea and this is my garden. Today's episode will probably be the last for a while. I'm going to be starting a project that will take up a good chunk of my free time. So I probably won't have a whole lot of update videos except maybe something that's I find quick and interesting. I might post something small like that, maybe a couple minute video. Last time I showed you I turned the northeast corner of my front yard from absolutely dreadful drab to something really colorful and fabulous. So now I'm going to start working on the southeast corner of my lot, which is pretty much this area right here. This is where I park my car every night. I got my rose bushes and other things on this side, and the other side pretty much came a storage area for all my potted plants. And so now I'm going to start working on it. I'm going to take out all the grass, or at least replace all the grass with mulch, so I could drive my car up and down the mulch instead of grass. I'm not ever going to replace or put in a cement driveway because I don't like them. Cement driveways are just plain gray, drab, not very pretty usually. They can do some interesting things with it, but the other reason why I don't like it is it doesn't allow water to soak through. And one of the things that is really important in not only a Florida yard, but in many other yards, is the ability to allow water to soak back into the ground naturally. It's a very important natural process that has to happen, and when we lay our yards down with impervious cement and sidewalks and all this other stuff, that water just goes somewhere else. But our land actually needs it. It replenishes our aquifers. Our soils need water. Soil is actually made up of not just silicate sand particles. It has the organic particles, but it also has a lot of moisture and water in it, in the spaces as well, which is necessary. And if all the rainwater is going down the drain into the bay or wherever else you live, it doesn't replenish anything. So I have no interest in putting a concrete driveway down. I could use pavers. There are some nice pavers where water could soak through in between the pavers, but it's a lot of work and I'm not going to do that right now. So I'm going to use mulch instead. This is also going to help me replenish the nutrient content of the soil. The soil, I'm going to show you, I'm going to dig up little pieces of it. I'm going to dig up a spot here. I'm going to bring in some soil from the northeast corner, and I'm going to bring in some soil from the side of my house, which is pretty much untouched. I don't do anything to it. Nothing happens. It's just natural oak leaves falling down, composting on site. And I want to show you what the comparison is, so I'm going to go do that too. Now, the reason why I'm replacing all my yard with mulch or flowers and stuff, it's not necessarily because I don't like mowing. I don't mind mowing. Mowing is fine. I don't have a large area. It gets me outside. It's good exercise. The thing I don't like about it is my lawnmower. Several years ago, it decided that it just didn't like to work any more than I did. And so it's a pain in the butt to start. What I believe happened is there's a break in the fuel line actually inside the fuel tank, so it's not like I can fix it very easily. And I've taken it to other people to fix it, and they just don't fix it. So I'm tired of dealing with it, and rather than spend $200 for a brand new lawnmower, I'd rather just get rid of the grass and replace it with sun. I don't have to mow. Call me backwards, but it works for me. So I'm gonna do that. So I'm gonna lay down all the cardboard I put back here. I'm gonna lay it down on top of the grass. I also have some newspaper that I'm gonna do. I'm gonna lay it all down, and then I'm gonna dump the mulch on top of that. So I got some mulch down there. I'll probably get some more just to cover the whole area because it is a large area-ish. So I'll take several bags and a lot of work. Another project that I'm going to be working on that's going to keep me busy is going to be the right-of-way section of my yard, which is behind you all. It is the section of yard that is in between the street and the sidewalk, and that is called the right-of-way. And I'm going to keep it grass. I'm just going to change the grass. Right now it's a mixture of Bahia grass and weeds. That's your typical Florida lawn. Bahia grass is an easy grass to keep. The only thing you really have to do is mow it. That's it. You don't have to feed it. You just let the rain water it. You don't have to add any supplemental watering. It goes dormant in the winter time, and then it comes back as soon as the rainy season starts again. So it's pretty easy grass, but it grows tall. It can grow up to like 3 feet, which is really, really tall. And it's got the Y-shaped seed pods. That's how you know it's Bahia grass. So you get the little long, thin stem. I don't have any. Oh, yep, I do. Alright. See this guy right here? This is your Bahia grass seed pods. All the little black things up here are all Bahia grass seeds. And so that's how you know when you have Bahia. That's one way to identify it. I don't know if you can see it, but there it is. So basically it's just a Y-shaped seed pod. That's your typical Florida lawn. I'm going to take it all out. I'm going to turn it upside down. I'm going to do the exact same thing I did on the northeast part. Turn it upside down, break it up. I'm going to add some soil amendments to it, some garden soil, some cow manure, things to improve the soil quality, and then I'm going to lay the seed down. Alright, so the grass that I'm going to be replacing in the right-of-way is the Scott's Turf Builder Zoysia grass. Now, Scott's makes a lot of different types of grasses, and a lot of them down here are annuals. Fescue, Kentucky bluegrass, rye. A lot of those north of Georgia are great for the summer, but down here they just don't survive the heat. We use them in the wintertime as an overseeding mix so that we actually have something green in the wintertime instead of just dormant brown grass, but it otherwise doesn't work in the summer. So I picked Zoysia grass. It is a low-growing, easy maintenance grass. I don't plan on ever mowing it because that's just how low it gets, only a few inches, and that's my plan. I don't know how that's going to work. I've never reseeded a lawn before. I'm kind of making it up as I go along. We'll see how it goes. So Zoysia grass is a very fine textured grass. It grows pretty quickly, germinates in about 2 to 3 weeks, which really isn't all that bad. Bahia grass, it takes 5 to 6 weeks for it to germinate. So it's pretty good. I do plan on having to pull weeds in the meantime because weeds tend to germinate faster than grass seed. So after I dig up the area and lay down the grass seed, I'll probably have to do some weed pulling, selective weed pulling until the grass comes up. I want to get to digging up the soil. The last thing I want to mention is the Spider Mite infestation did not go away. It decided to infest some dahlia bulbs I have planted in a pot. They're on my devil's trumpet, my peach tree, and I've also got these worms, which are normal for cucumbers, on my cucumber plants, and I'm trying to get rid of them all. I'm using an aggressive neem schedule. I've already sprayed them twice over the last couple of days. I'm going to do some scouting, see where the population is at, how it's doing, make sure it's knocked down, and I'll probably spray every 3 days from here on out, and then reduce it down after 3 weeks again. Looking to see how the insect population is. If it's still severe, you know, I'll have to do it for longer. If not, which I don't anticipate it to be after I continue spraying, then you know, I should be good in a month or two. These are my ornamental plants. It was okay, you know, to throw away my tomato plants. I mean, they're annuals anyway, and I didn't want to do all of this work that I now have to do anyway, whatever. But my ornamental plants I really don't want to throw away, my cucumbers I really don't want to throw away, and my peach tree I'm sure as hell not going to throw away. So I'm going to go ahead and do the aggressive neem spraying schedule in order to try to help get rid of them. I'll let you know how that goes. Alright, so let me start digging in one of these areas to show you all the different soils I got. Okay, so this soil sample right here, all this sand, this is the driveway area. You can see here's the quasi-living grass. Comes apart pretty easily. Yeah, nice root system, but gray, sand, doesn't clump at all. So, pretty lifeless soil. No worms at all, nothing. That's boring and dull soil. Now the one in the middle is the northeast corner that I have been working on over the last several years. It's got, you know, plenty of organic matter in it. You know, the leaves is darker. I mean, compare this darkness to this lightness. It is darker. It's still sandy. It still doesn't clump a whole lot, but it does clump a little bit, which is good. So the soil is improving. It used to be this. You know, it used to be this gray soil. It was the exact same stuff. And now it's this, and this is after adding several years of mulch to it and planting plants and letting the leaves decay. Now this over here, this is the good soil. Look at that, nice big clumps. Now this soil has been untouched for I don't know how long. I haven't done hardly anything to this area. It doesn't get raked, it does get mowed, the weeds get mowed every once in a while, not very often. But basically the leaves that fall from the oak trees just lay there, decompose, and look at the soil that it has produced. It's really beautiful soil, very rich, very dark. Again, if you compare the soils to each other, I mean, this is just really nice soil. This is what you want. This is what we want to dig in. It's light enough that you can get your shovel in there. Dark enough to have a good, rich, nutrient, organic matter content. Clumps enough, it holds moisture. It's got a little bit, the organic materials as they decompose, that's what helps add to the clumping of it. Sand just doesn't clump. I mean, it's too loose of a soil. There's nothing in there. There's no way for it to retain anything in sand. But once you start adding that organic material, that's what happens to it. So, really nice stuff. Okay? So we're going to go from this to this to this eventually. That's the idea. That's why I add mulch, leaf mulch to all my garden beds every year, is just to get to this state. Because this is what I want. This is what my plants are going to thrive on. This is what they're going to enjoy. And this is what I'm aiming for. Now you see, it's still loose. It's supposed to be. You don't want it to be so compacted that roots can't grow through it. So it's nice and loose, but rich and dark. Okay. Well, that's going to be it for today's episode. Thank you for joining me on this great day. Until next time, have fun, and remember, it's always a good day in the garden. I'll see you next time.